Picture an empire that reigned majestically for more than a millennium. In a realm that beheld the twilight of Rome. Engaged in fierce battles with crusaders. Stood firm against unyielding invaders. And safeguarded the knowledge of antiquity as Europe descended into turmoil. Welcome to the tale of the Byzantine Empire, the overlooked sibling of Rome. Draped in gold, mystery, and unwavering devotion. From the majestic halls of Constantinople to the treacherous intrigues of the royal court. From triumphant victories to soul-crushing betrayals, this is more than mere history. This is the saga of genuine empires. Authentic individuals. And the very essence of civilization's endurance. In this series, we embark on a captivating journey through 7 pivotal chapters of Byzantine history, exploring how a flicker of Roman light persevered for over a millennium, ultimately meeting its end in a blaze of fire and blood in 1453. Prepare yourself to embark on a journey through the remarkable saga of the Eastern Roman Empire, where tales of glory and intrigue await to be unveiled. Let us embark on a journey to the very place where all remarkable tales find their origin amidst the remnants of a fallen empire. In the year 330 AD, a daring vision emerged on the eastern fringes of Europe, a vision destined to endure beyond empires, transform the known world, and safeguard the legacy of Rome long after the eternal city had crumbled. This tale recounts how a once neglected eastern province evolved into the vibrant core of a millennium-spanning empire. Welcome to Byzantium. Globe showing Europe, Africa, a world in transformation. In the 4th century, the Roman Empire stood as a colossal entity. Its vast expanse reaching from the misty hills of Britain to the sun-baked sands of Egypt. Yet, with such grandeur came profound challenges. The very fabric of Rome began to fray under the weight of internal strife. Military overextension, devastating plagues, and a faltering economy. To the west, Germanic tribes gathered ominously, while to the east, Persian forces pressed relentlessly against Rome's fragile borders. Behold Emperor Constantine I, a figure of grand vision, relentless ambition, and a touch of the divine. In the year 324 AD, following his triumph in a civil war and the solidification of his power, Constantine embarked on a monumental journey that would alter the course of history. He resolved to create a new capital for a revitalized empire. Classical building, the birth of Constantinople. In a time long past, Constantine set his sights on the ancient Greek city of Byzantium. Perfectly perched on the Bosphorus Strait, the very threshold between Europe and Asia. It was here that he dreamed of a city. One that would shine with the brilliance of Rome yet evade the shadows of its decline. On May 11, 330 AD, the grand city of Constantinople, known as the City of Constantine, was officially dedicated. This was no ordinary place. With its formidable walls, lively harbors, and strategic location at the crossroads of trade, Constantinople swiftly rose to prominence as the political and spiritual heart of the Eastern Roman Empire. Constantine transformed the city into a realm of majestic forums, basilicas, aqueducts, and monuments, bringing forth the splendor of ancient Rome while breathing new life into it with a Christian essence. As the first emperor to openly accept Christianity, he turned the once persecuted faith into the cornerstone of imperial identity. Latin Cross, a new era of faith emerges. In the Eastern Empire, a remarkable force emerged from Christianity, rekindling a sense of unity and purpose that the West had started to fade. The intertwining of church and state flourished, as the emperor was revered as the divine ruler appointed by God himself on earth. In this remarkable blend of imperial power and sacred purpose, a distinctive ambience emerged, one that would shape the course of Byzantine politics for ages. Emperors transcended the role of mere rulers. They became the stewards of belief, protectors of tradition, and to countless followers vessels of divine intention. Yet, the bond was delicate. Beneath the shimmering facade, Constantinople concealed profound social strife, theological disputes, and political rivalries that were destined to erupt one day. Crossed swords fragmentation of the realm. In the year 395 AD, a significant chapter unfolded in history as the Roman Empire divided into two distinct realms, the Western Roman Empire, with its heart in the storied cities of Ravenna and Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire, governed from the magnificent city of Constantinople. Once, it was widely accepted that the West would forever hold the mantle of strength. Yet, the unfolding events of the 5th century told a different tale. In a time of great upheaval, the tides of Germanic tribes surged forth, the Visigoths, Vandals, and Ostrogoths sweeping across the lands and claiming the western provinces as their own. The year 476 AD marked a pivotal moment, as the final emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was unseated, signaling the end of the Western Roman Empire. And yet, the eastern half persevered. What could be the reason? Shield the endurance of the East. In contrast to the West, the Eastern Roman Empire, which would come to be recognized as the Byzantine Empire, possessed a number of distinct advantages. In a tale of strategic geography, the remarkable position of Constantinople allowed for the defense and mastery of vital trade routes, weaving a narrative of power and influence. In the grand tapestry of history, the East held on to its treasures, with prosperous provinces such as Egypt, Syria, and Asia Minor shining brightly in its narrative of economic strength. In a tapestry woven through time, the threads of Greek and Roman traditions intertwined, upheld by a steadfast bureaucracy and an enlightened elite. In the unfolding narrative of Byzantium, we witness a remarkable transformation. The empire, like a skilled artist, wove together the vibrant threads of Eastern customs, crafting a new tapestry of centralized and divine kingship. Gradually, it shed the remnants of its Roman past, embarking on a journey of reinvention. In the 6th century, the Byzantine Empire rose not merely as a remnant of Rome, but as a vibrant entity, brimming with its own laws, language, and aspirations. In the grand tapestry of history, we find ourselves in the illustrious era of Justinian, a time marked by ambition and transformation. In the year 527 AD, a soldier of humble origins named Justinian I ascended to the imperial throne, heralding the dawn of one of Byzantium's most illustrious eras. In a time of great ambition, Justinian, alongside his brilliant general Belisarius, set forth on daring military campaigns to reclaim the lost western territories. They sought North Africa from the Vandals, Italy from the Ostrogoths, and even parts of Spain. For a fleeting moment, it appeared as though the Roman Empire might rise anew. Yet, the splendor of military triumph was merely a fragment of Justinian's enduring legacy. He additionally, in the grand tapestry of history, the codified Roman law emerges as a pivotal chapter, woven into the monumental Corpus Juris Civilis, a cornerstone that laid the groundwork for the legal systems we navigate today. Set forth on grand architectural endeavors, among them the awe-inspiring Hagia Sophia, a cathedral that reigned as the largest in the world for almost a millennium. With a deft hand, the empire's finances were meticulously reorganized. The army was fortified, and the light of Orthodox Christianity was fervently promoted. However, his rule was shadowed by turmoil. The Nika riots of 532 threatened to engulf the city in chaos. claiming the lives of tens of thousands. Furthermore, the Justinian plague swept through, devastating the population and potentially taking the lives of 40% of Constantinople's inhabitants. In the face of challenges, Justinian's endeavors transformed Byzantium, evolving it from a mere echo of Rome into a distinct empire with a fate all its own. Classical building a realm distinct. By the 7th century, the Byzantine Empire had transformed beyond being merely Eastern Rome. It had evolved into a distinct civilization. Eta gamma lambda sigma sigma alpha, tau alpha epsilon lambda lambda eta nu iota kappa alpha nu tau iota kappa alpha tau sigma tau eta sigma alpha nu tau alpha lambda alpha tau iota nu iota kappa sigma tau eta delta iota omicron kappa eta sigma eta. In the realm of belief, Orthodox Christianity reigned supreme, shaping both the thoughts of theologians and the brushstrokes of artists. In a tapestry woven from the threads of Roman, Greek, Christian, and Eastern traditions, a unique and vibrant culture emerged, telling a tale all its own. In a realm adorned with vibrant mosaics and devoted monks, where icons whispered secrets and intrigue danced in the shadows, there thrived an empire. This was a bastion of classical wisdom, a guardian against the tides of Eastern invasions, evoking both awe and trepidation in the hearts of its neighbors. And yet, the adventure was just starting to unfold. As the 7th century broke upon the horizon, the Byzantine Empire emerged as the final bastion of classical grandeur, a beacon of Roman magnificence in an increasingly shadowed realm. Yet, even the mightiest of empires are not eternal. The unfolding century would present Byzantium with trials unlike any it had faced before. A torrent of adversaries, internal strife, religious turmoil, and a faltering economy would drive the empire to the edge of despair. And yet against all odds it did not collapse. Instead, Byzantium underwent a remarkable transformation. This was the empire's crucible, a pivotal moment shaped not by gold or marble, but by fire and faith. Shield a realm converging. In the early 600s, a glimmer of hope emerged. A young and charismatic leader from North Africa, Emperor Heraclius, ascended to the throne in 610 AD. Fueled by a fierce determination to revive the empire's lost glory. Yet, what lay before him was a realm precariously balanced on the brink. The treasury found itself in a state of ruin. The spirit of the army waned. In a sweeping conquest, the Persian Sassanid Empire claimed vital eastern provinces, among them Syria and Egypt, the very heart of the empire's sustenance. Heraclius, confronted with the brink of destruction, chose not to flee but to transform. Crossed swords, the resurgence of Heraclius. In a tale woven through the fabric of history, Heraclius embarked on a bold journey, launching a series of counteroffensives that would echo through time. From 622 to 628 AD. With a restructured, fervent army at his side, he traversed unforgiving landscapes, striking at the very core of the Persian Empire. His campaign unfolded with a mix of ferocity and ingenuity, and it proved triumphant. In the year 627 AD, amidst the dust and clamor of the Battle of Nineveh, Heraclius emerged victorious, vanquishing the Persian forces and heralding the conclusion of a long and arduous war. The empire erupted in celebration, as cherished crosses made their way back to Jerusalem. Heraclius was celebrated, revered as a second Constantine, a beacon of hope and triumph. Yet, this victory was fleeting. Crescent moon, the emergence of Islam. As the grand halls of Byzantium echoed with celebration, a formidable force was quietly emerging from the arid sands of Arabia. In the wake of the Prophet Muhammad's passing in 632 AD, the once fragmented Arab tribes, now united and ignited by fervent faith and exceptional leadership, embarked on a swift and ambitious expansion under the banner of the Rashidun Caliphate. In the year 636 AD, a monumental clash unfolded as they faced the Byzantine forces at the Battle of Yarmouk, a moment that would echo through history as one of the most crushing defeats for the Byzantines. What came of this fateful encounter? In the shadows of history, Syria found itself adrift. Palestine has succumbed. The once thriving grain hub of Egypt had vanished into the annals of history. In the span of fewer than 20 years, Byzantium saw more than half of its land slip away. And yet, it persevered. Cityscape, a stronghold dominion. Now bereft of its most opulent provinces, Byzantium transformed into a novel entity, a bastion of power. In the heart of the empire, Constantinople stood proud. Its defenses enhanced with formidable triple walls, massive chains stretching across the harbor, and a distinguished defense system ready to protect its treasures. In a time of great need, the empire crafted a brilliant strategy, embracing a theme system that transformed the landscape of military power. By bestowing land upon soldiers in return for their commitment to local defense, they wove a tapestry of resilience that ensured the army's survival. In the annals of history, one weapon stands shrouded in enigma: Greek fire. This fiery liquid, a marvel of ancient ingenuity, would cling to ships and men alike, spreading fear and chaos among foes. Its secret recipe, a closely guarded mystery, has eluded scholars and seekers through the ages. In the year 674, a formidable fleet of Arab ships encircled the great city of Constantinople, launching a siege that would mark a pivotal moment in history. Outnumbered and besieged, the resourceful Byzantines unleashed their secret weapon, Greek fire, igniting the waters around them in a fierce blaze. Against all odds, the city held its ground, a testament to its resilience. Once more, in the year 717, the empire found itself under siege by the Umayyad Caliphate yet again. It would endure, not merely through the clash of swords, but through the strength of unwavering faith. Latin Cross: A Journey Through Faith, the Iconoclast Controversy. As Byzantium faced foes from beyond its borders, a tempest of discord raged within a conflict that would cleave the very essence of the empire, the Iconoclast Controversy. In a time of great turmoil, some emperors, notably Leo III, who ruled from 717 to 741, held a firm belief that the veneration of icons, those sacred images of Christ, Mary, and the saints, was a path to heresy and a call for divine retribution. With conviction, he commanded the eradication of these revered images across the vast expanse of his empire. Outrage erupted as monks, bishops, and even the emperor's own kin found themselves at odds over this contentious issue. Churches bore the scars of defacement, while iconophiles, fervent in their beliefs, took up arms in resistance. This was no mere theological debate. It was a fierce struggle for the very soul of the empire. For more than 100 years, this debate would unfold, eroding cohesion and even influencing diplomatic ties with the West. And yet, within this tumult, Byzantium not only endured but transformed. The Macedonian Renaissance unfolds like a grand tapestry, rich with vibrant threads of culture and intellect, weaving together the brilliance of a bygone era. Each moment is a chapter, each figure a character in this epic tale of revival and enlightenment. In the twilight of the 9th century, a remarkable dynasty emerged, the Macedonian dynasty, heralded by Basil I, a humble peasant who ascended to the throne. Under his leadership and that of his heirs, The empire flourished, witnessing a vibrant revival of art, learning, and military prowess. Icons found their way back to the sacred spaces of churches. In a time long past, wise scholars gathered the threads of legal codes and safeguarded the precious ancient texts, ensuring their stories would endure through the ages. In a grand tale of ambition, the empire stretched its arms wide, reclaiming lost territories in the Balkans and forging ahead into the eastern lands. In a vibrant era known as the Byzantine Renaissance, emperors such as Leo VI and Constantine VII transformed the very essence of imperial thought and rule. Diplomats from both Europe and the Islamic realms journeyed to witness the splendor of Constantinople, frequently referring to it as the Second Rome. And yet, through it all, Byzantium stood as an empire poised precariously, fiercely proud, ever besieged, and profoundly connected to its beliefs. The significance of this turning point. Between the 7th and 9th centuries, a remarkable metamorphosis unfolded, transcending mere decline or recovery. Byzantium cast off its Roman guise and wholeheartedly adopted a Greek Byzantine essence. In a time of transformation, the empire grew increasingly centralized. Its military might expanded, and its religious fervor intensified, all while embracing a wave of innovation. Though it relinquished its expansive lands, it emerged with a fortified essence, capable of enduring countless ages of conflict and cunning. This was not the end of Byzantium. It was the dawn of a new era. As the 10th century dawned, the empire had transformed, shedding the remnants of Rome's legacy to emerge as Byzantium, a realm both audacious and steadfast. Empires seldom meet their end gracefully. Yet, the tale of the Byzantine Empire in 1204 unfolds not merely as a decline, but as a harrowing act of treachery. The revered city of Constantinople, the very soul of Eastern Christendom, was not besieged by Muslim foes or pagan marauders. Instead, it was laid waste by Christian crusaders, men who professed to battle for the cross, yet left the most sacred city in the East engulfed in flames, blood, and the lure of gold. This was not just a siege. It was the unraveling of a great civilization. It was betrayal disguised as virtue, and its echoes would linger in the annals of Byzantium for eternity. Crossed swords crafting the narrative. The Fourth Crusade. In the year 1198, a call echoed from the Vatican as Pope Innocent III summoned the faithful to embark on a new crusade, the fourth, with the noble aim of reclaiming Jerusalem, now once more under Muslim control. Yet, this endeavor was not merely a quest for the holy city. It was ensnared in a web of political intrigue, financial burdens, and cunning misrepresentation. In a time of great ambition, a fleet was essential to carry the Crusader army to the sacred shores of the Holy Land. The venerable yet shrewd Enrico Dandolo, the Doge of Venice, stepped forward with an offer of ships, but not without a cost. When the Crusaders fell short in their payment, Venice presented a different path: assist in the conquest of the Christian city of Zara, a competitor to Venice itself. In a twist of fate, despite the papal decrees forbidding such actions against fellow Christians, the Crusaders acquiesced to the proposal. The journey had strayed from its intended path both in direction and in purpose. Once upon a time, a Byzantine prince extended a most alluring proposition. As the Crusaders found themselves in a state of uncertainty, pondering their next steps, an exiled Byzantine prince by the name of Alexios Angelos approached them with an irresistible proposition. In a time of turmoil, Alexios, the son of the ousted Emperor Isaac II, stood before the Crusaders with a bold promise. He beckoned them to aid him in his quest to reclaim the throne. offering them a vision of what could be achieved together. 200,000 silver marks. A legion of 10,000 Byzantine warriors set forth to join their noble crusade. The coming together of the Eastern and Western churches. Provisions for the pilgrimage to Jerusalem. It was the fulfillment of dreams for the Crusaders and the desperate Venetians alike. In the year 1203, the united fleet set its course not for the Holy Land, but for the grand city of Constantinople. Castle the initial assault 1203. In the year 1203, the Byzantine Empire stood as a mere shadow of its former glory. The reigning emperor, Alexios III, was a figure of corruption and cowardice, despised by the very people he ruled. As the Crusader army approached, the spirit to defend him had all but vanished, leaving a realm ripe for change. At last, the formidable walls of Constantinople fell, yielding to the relentless advance of the Crusaders. In the chaos, Alexios III made his escape. Meanwhile, the young Alexios Angelos ascended to the throne as co-emperor, taking the name Alexios IV, standing proudly beside his blind father, Isaac II. Ah! The deal was sealed. Or so it appeared. Moneybag unkept promises. Rising tensions. In a moment of stark clarity, Alexios IV understood the weight of his unfulfilled promises. The coffers of the Byzantine treasury lay bare, echoing the desperation of his reign. Meanwhile, the citizens of Constantinople seethed with anger. Their sacred city now a stage for Latin soldiers, and their fury directed squarely at the emperor for his perceived betrayals to the West. Chaos erupted in the streets. Sacred places were marred by violence. The people turned against the foreign soldiers and their installed ruler, their anger palpable in the air. In the midst of it all, the Crusaders found themselves in a tempest of discontent. Unpaid and weary, their tempers flared as their patience wore thin. With provisions dwindling, the bonds of trust began to crumble like ancient stone. In the dawn of 1204, a palace coup unfolded, altering the course of history forever. Dagger, a tale of the palace coup. In the cold month of January in the year 1204, a court noble by the name of Alexios Doukas, who was often referred to as Mortsuflos, rose to power. With a swift and ruthless hand, he imprisoned and executed Alexios IV, subsequently declaring himself Emperor Alexios V. In a twist of fate, the murder of their sponsor ignited a fierce fury among the Crusaders. Their cries for vengeance echoed through the land, demanding retribution and recompense. When the newly crowned emperor turned a deaf ear to their pleas, the stage was set for an impending conflict. Thus commenced the second siege of Constantinople, a venture not to place a sovereign upon the throne, but to ravage the most magnificent city in Christendom. Fire the fall of Constantinople, April 1204. On April 12, 1204, a momentous event unfolded. The Crusaders overcame the formidable sea walls of Constantinople and surged into the city. What ensued was a harrowing tale that lasted 3 days. In a time of turmoil, the sanctity of churches was shattered. The Hagia Sophia, revered as the pinnacle of Christendom's cathedrals, found itself repurposed as a mere stable. Relics of great significance were plundered. Altars lay in ruins, and icons were trampled underfoot, their sacredness lost in the chaos. In a dark chapter of history, women from all walks of life, nuns, princesses, and commoners fell prey to unspeakable acts. Monasteries faced the wrath of pillagers, while convents were consumed by flames. In a tumultuous turn of events, homes and palaces fell victim to ruthless plunder. The city's shimmering golden mosaics were ruthlessly stripped away. The grand imperial library met its tragic end, reduced to ruins. Priceless art, cherished relics, and invaluable manuscripts slipped through the fingers of time. Many now forever lost to the grasp of the West. Crimson rivers coursed through the thoroughfares. Countless souls perished. The once magnificent denizens of New Rome found themselves diminished to the status of beggars and captives. Once upon a time, the Crusaders proclaimed their mission as a righteous quest to punish heretics. Yet, in the shadows of their noble intentions, they transformed into the very adversaries they had sworn to combat. Upon receiving the news, Pope Innocent III took to the public stage to denounce the Crusaders. Yet in the shadows, he embraced the fleeting allegiance of the Eastern Church. Black flagged the birth of a Latin empire. In the shadow of Byzantium's crumbling grandeur, the Crusaders forged a new realm, the Latin Empire of Constantinople. Baldwin of Flanders ascended the throne as emperor. The Western Knights, like conquerors of old, carved up the empire's territories as if they were treasures, establishing feudal dominions across Greece and the Aegean. Yet, they could never reign over everything. The Byzantine nobles and generals sought refuge in the provinces, establishing their own competing realms. The realm of Nicaea, the realm of Epirus, the realm of Trebizond. These fragments preserve the essence of the Byzantine spirit. Brick the significance of the betrayal. The events of 1204 unfolded as more than a mere military defeat. They etched a deep wound into the fabric of civilization itself. As the tale unfolds, the divide between Eastern Orthodoxy and Roman Catholicism grew, solidifying into an enduring schism. Once, the splendor and grandeur of Byzantium stood unmatched. But now it lay in ruins. The empire's artistic and intellectual legacy was like a tapestry, frayed and dispersed, its vibrant threads lost in the winds of time. And so it was, once more, that Byzantium would not succumb to the sands of time. For 57 years, the great city of Constantinople lay in the grasp of Latin rulers. Yet, in the year 1261, a bold and audacious campaign by the Empire of Nicaea breathed life back into its storied streets. The Byzantines had come home weary, diminished, and cautious, but their spirit was far from extinguished. The empire had lost its former glory. Yet the fire of its spirit, forged in the crucible of betrayal, continued to flicker with fierce intensity. In the year 1261, the Byzantines returned to Constantinople, a city that stood as a mere shadow of its glorious past. Once celebrated as the Queen of Cities, it had become a haunting remnant, with battered walls, pillaged palaces, and streets that whispered of silence. The Latin occupation had robbed the city of its wealth and pride. Yet its spirit remained unbroken. From these ashes, the Byzantines, marked by their trials yet unbroken, embarked on a gradual and arduous journey of renewal. What unfolded was not a grand renaissance filled with splendor. Instead, it was a tale of subtle strength, of evolving focuses, and a fervent struggle to restore a sense of self in a world that had moved on without them. The era had shifted. It was no longer the grand empire of Justinian. Instead, it had transformed into a realm defined by the struggle to endure. Crown the revival Michael VIII Palaiologos. In the year 1261, a remarkable figure emerged, Michael VIII Palaiologos, the esteemed ruler of the Empire of Nicaea. With determination and vision, He spearheaded the campaign that reclaimed the illustrious city of Constantinople from the grasp of the Latin occupiers. Michael's return to the city was a grand affair. Yet the challenges ahead were formidable. The capital's infrastructure had deteriorated. Churches stood in desolation. The imperial treasury was bare. Meanwhile, adversaries, Latin princes, Serbs, Bulgarians, and the encroaching Ottoman Turks hovered like predators, ready to pounce. Michael understood that the dream of restoring Byzantium to its former glory as a global power was beyond reach. Yet, he saw the possibility of fortifying it, protecting it, and maybe even reshaping its identity. He embarked on a grand endeavor to restore the Hagia Sophia, the city walls, and other significant monuments. Yet, what truly set him apart was his realization that the fate of the empire hinged more on the art of diplomacy than on the might of armies. Handshake: the art of negotiation triumphs over conquest. Michael VIII and his successors embarked on a transformative journey, embracing a fresh imperial strategy that wove together the threads of negotiation, marriage alliances, and religious compromise. He orchestrated unions between his offspring and distant dynasties, weaving connections between Byzantium and Western realms, Balkan territories, and even the Mongol chieftains. In a bold move, he sought to mend the rift with the Roman Catholic Church, suggesting a contentious reunion at the Second Council of Lyon in 1274, a decision that stirred discontent among the Orthodox clergy and their followers. Yet, the emperor was not merely responding out of weakness, he was evolving. The ancient aspirations of reclaiming Rome had faded. Byzantium would henceforth seek to steer through the tempest, rather than dominate it. Yet, this approach bore its own price. Balance scale: the delicate equilibrium. In a tale of ambition and consequence, Michael VIII's attempts at religious unity drove a wedge between him and his own followers. The Orthodox monks and theologians, guardians of tradition, decried the union with Rome as a profound betrayal. As discontent simmered, uprisings ignited, leaving his successors to grapple with the turmoil that drained the last vestiges of their power. In the year 1282, the mantle of power fell upon his son, Andronikos II Palaiologos, who boldly chose to undo the church union. Yet, his time on the throne was shadowed by economic turmoil, a faltering military, and the looming specter of growing dangers. Once, the mighty Byzantine navy was disbanded, casting the empire into a vulnerable state upon the vast, unpredictable sea. In the heart of Asia Minor, the Turkish warlords etched their legacy, shaping the very essence of what was once the empire's foundation. Amidst the turmoil of civil wars, the imperial court found itself splintered, its resources and morale sapped by the relentless strife. And yet, there were flashes of brilliance that illuminated the shadows. Artis pallid, a cultural radiance amidst the darkness. In the midst of political and military decline, the Palaiologan era unfolded a captivating tale of intellectual and artistic resurgence. In a realm where minds converged, scholars delved into the ancient texts, weaving through the intricate tapestries of philosophy, science, and theology, engaging in spirited debates that echoed through the ages. In a time of rich creativity, artists crafted a unique late Byzantine style that resonated with drama, emotion, and profound spirituality. Amidst the crumbling empire, vibrant mosaics, exquisite frescoes, and rich iconography thrived, telling tales of a world in transition. This last golden glow was Byzantium reflecting upon itself, treasuring its essence as its physical form faded away. In this era, Notable figures such as Gregory Palamas and the Hesychasts emerged, reshaping the essence of Eastern Orthodox spirituality. They highlighted the significance of mystical prayer and the pursuit of divine light, serving as a poignant mirror to Byzantium's own quest for meaning amidst its decline. Crossed Swords, a tale of conflict and separation. Yet, despite the richness of its culture, decay set in. In the early 14th century, Byzantium was engulfed in a fierce civil war, pitting Emperor Andronikos II against his grandson Andronikos III. The empire was torn asunder, with competing courts, clashing armies, and foreign mercenaries seizing control of vast regions. When the younger Andronikos took the reins in 1328, the harm had already been inflicted. In a time of great turmoil, Andronikos III, alongside his adept general John Kantakouzenos, endeavored to turn the tide of decline. Together, they momentarily breathed life back into the military and regained territories in Greece. Yet, fate dealt a cruel hand with Andronikos's premature passing in 1341. Igniting a civil war that threatened to obliterate the remnants of the empire. In this era, foreign powers, particularly the Ottoman Turks, who had seized control over much of Asia Minor, surged forward without restraint. The once mighty Byzantines found themselves mere onlookers, witnessing the unraveling of their own legacy. Skull and Crossbones, a tale of affliction and despair. In a time already fraught with turmoil, the shadow of the Black Death loomed over Constantinople in the 1340s. A staggering number of lives were claimed, with tens of thousands succumbing to the plague. The once thriving economy crumbled, and the sacred halls of monasteries stood desolate. Whole neighborhoods fell silent, left to the echoes of their former lives. And yet, Byzantium held steadfast. Once mighty emperors, now mere lords of the city, clung to Constantinople and a handful of territories in Thrace and the Aegean. The rest had slipped away, claimed by Serbs, Bulgarians, Italians, and, ever more so, the Ottomans. The once mighty empire now lingered as a mere shadow of its former self, celebrated in title, yet shattered in truth. Candle a transformed existence. Yet, in this dusky hour, Byzantium uncovered a truth of great depth, a fresh outlook. It ceased to view itself as a Roman empire fated to dominate the globe. Rather, it welcomed its position as the protector of orthodoxy. A vibrant testament to Christian tradition in a world that grew ever more adversarial. Monks rose to prominence, eclipsing the role of generals. The sacred rites endured beyond the reach of mere laws. The study of divine matters illuminated the realm of politics. And the essence of Constantinople, that remarkable blend of Greek, Roman, and Christian heritage, continued to thrive in the realms of art, music, and devotion. Even as the empire's walls fell to ruin, its spirit remained unbroken. By the mid-14th century, the Byzantine Empire stood like a waning candle, its light flickering against the relentless winds of time. Once a vast realm that spanned 3 continents, it now clung to the remnants of its glory, confined to the walls of Constantinople and a handful of coastal cities. Yet, in its twilight years, Byzantium was determined to resist the encroaching darkness. In the realm of dreams, emperors still dared to envision their legacies. Generals, with unwavering resolve, continued their march across the vast landscapes of ambition. Diplomats, ever the weavers of fate, engaged in intricate negotiations. Amidst a whirlwind of transformation, the empire, with its heart pounding in uncertainty, prepared to cast one final die, a bold, desperate bid for survival. Could Byzantium challenge destiny once again? Castle, a realm in ruins. In the 1350s, the once mighty Byzantine Empire had transformed into something quite different. No longer an empire in the classic sense. It had dwindled to a city-state, clinging to its imperial title while surrounded by adversaries and weakened by deep internal divisions. With a sweeping hand, the Ottomans claimed dominion over nearly the entirety of Asia Minor. In the heart of the Balkans, a fierce struggle unfolded, where Serbs, Hungarians, and Turks clashed in a dramatic contest for power and territory. Once, Constantinople reigned as the queen of cities. Yet now it boasts a mere 50,000 souls, a stark contrast to its illustrious past. Within the towering embrace of the city's renowned Theodosian walls, a tale of lost splendor unfolded. Once magnificent churches now lay in ruins. Regal palaces stood empty, and the imperial court struggled to uphold even the simplest of necessities. Yet the Byzantines stood resolute, unwilling to yield. Crown the bold move of John V, a call to the West. In a daring act of diplomacy, Emperor John V Palaiologos embarked on a journey to seek assistance from the realms of Western Europe. He ventured to the grand courts of Naples, Venice, and even the illustrious Rome. In a moment of profound significance in 1369, he embraced Roman Catholicism, believing this bold transformation would ignite a wave of military support from the Catholic nations. Yet the West, fractured and steeped in skepticism, seemed consumed by its own conflicts, providing nothing more than empty gestures. No legions marched forth. No ships set sail. For many in the Orthodox community, Byzantium's shift was perceived as a profound betrayal, while the West regarded it as a response that arrived far too late. In a twist of fate, while John V was away, his son Andronikos IV boldly claimed the throne in Constantinople. This audacious move threatened to unravel the very fabric of Byzantium from within. Crossed swords, the Ottoman constriction. In the midst of it all, the Ottoman Turks pressed forward, their ascent seemingly destined and relentless. In the year 1389, at the fateful Battle of Kosovo, the forces triumphed over the Serbs, stripping away one of Byzantium's last remaining shields in the Balkans. In the year 1396, a fierce battle unfolded at Nicopolis, where they triumphed over a crusade led by the West, solidifying their status as the preeminent force in the region. In the year 1394, the great city of Constantinople found itself encircled by the formidable Sultan Bayezid I, who laid siege to its walls. For a grueling 8 years, the capital stood resilient, its fate hanging by a thread, until the tides of fortune shifted. The arrival of Tamerlane, the fierce conqueror from Central Asia, turned the course of history as he invaded Anatolia and captured Bayezid in 1402, granting the city a reprieve from its dire plight. This fleeting pause granted Byzantium its last gasp. Dove Manuel II, a knightly envoy. Upon ascending to the throne, Manuel II Palaiologos, the son of John V, embarked on a quest to secure a moment of respite. He journeyed through the lands of Europe, making stops in England, France, and even the Holy Roman Empire, seeking assistance. He stood out as the sole Byzantine emperor to set foot in London himself. His captivating words and magnetic presence enchanted the rulers of the West. Yet, once more, substantial assistance eluded him. Upon returning to his homeland, He dedicated himself to fortifying the capital's defenses and upholding delicate agreements with the Ottomans. He rallied local militias and bolstered the legendary walls of Constantinople. He was acutely aware of the storm that loomed ahead. Yet, the hands of time continued their relentless march. Sunrise, the final sovereign Constantine XI. In the year 1449. Amidst a backdrop of prolonged tension and unfruitful discussions, Constantine XI Palaiologos ascended to the throne, marking the last chapter in the saga of Byzantium. Once there was a soldier emperor, a figure of deep devotion and immense respect, who bore the heavy burden of knowledge regarding his empire's grim reality. He presided over a capital city, a handful of ports, and a network of scattered fortresses. Yet, the empire he commanded had dwindled to a size smaller than many of the European kingdoms surrounding it. Yet, in the twilight of his reign, Constantine clung to a flicker of hope: the unification of churches. A bold endeavor to reconcile the East and West, all in the pursuit of securing much-needed military support. In the year 1439, the Council of Florence proclaimed the union of the Orthodox and Catholic churches. What came of this momentous event? In Constantinople, a wave of indignation swept through the streets, the clergy and the citizens alike. In Western Europe, a sense of indifference lingered. The union was recognized, yet no formidable army came forth. The wager had not paid off. Mosque, the tale of the siege in 1453. In the fateful month of April in the year 1453, the young Ottoman Sultan, Mehmed II, at the tender age of 21, set his sights on the grand city of Constantinople. With a formidable army exceeding 80,000 strong, he prepared to lay siege to the city, vastly outnumbering the valiant defenders led by Constantine, who mustered fewer than 8,000 souls, including the brave foreign volunteers such as Giovanni Giustiniani, a commander hailing from Genoa. With the arrival of the Ottomans came a formidable force, colossal cannons. Among them the fearsome bombard crafted by the ingenious Hungarian engineer Urban. 4 weeks. These mighty weapons unleashed their fury upon the city walls, shattering the once unassailable defenses. With each passing day, the Byzantines displayed unwavering courage. Archers took their positions in the towers, ready to defend. Citizens tirelessly transported supplies, their determination evident. Priests offered their fervent prayers, a constant presence in the midst of chaos. At the forefront, the emperor himself wielded his sword, embodying the spirit of resilience. Yet, deep down, all were aware it was merely a question of when. Once upon a time, on a fateful day in May, the grand city of Constantinople faced its destiny. The year was 1453, and the air was thick with tension as the tides of history began to shift. Broken heart. As the first light of dawn broke on May 29, after a relentless 53-day siege, the Ottomans made their decisive move. They surged through the shattered walls, flooding into the heart of the city. Despite the valiant stand of its defenders, the fate of Constantinople was sealed. With unwavering resolve, Constantine XI stood his ground. He cast aside his imperial regalia, unsheathed his sword, and plunged into the fray. From that moment on, he vanished from sight, leaving behind a legacy of bravery. In a dramatic turn of fate, the Ottomans descended upon the city, leaving devastation in their wake. Sacred churches transformed into mosques, bearing witness to a new era. Those who remained faced a grim reality. Either enslaved or forced to escape. The Hagia Sophia, once a radiant symbol of Christendom, now resonated with the haunting beauty of the Islamic call to prayer. The grand saga of the Byzantine Empire had come to an end. A civilization that had stood for a millennium met its fate not quietly, but with a struggle that honored its legacy. Candle yet. Was it really the conclusion? In numerous respects. The fall of Constantinople signified the conclusion of the Middle Ages. Yet, the essence of Byzantium lingered, refusing to fade with its fortifications. The essence of its art, theology, and philosophy journeyed westward with scholars seeking refuge, igniting the flames of the European Renaissance. Under the watchful gaze of the Ottoman Empire, the Orthodox Church thrived, preserving the rich tapestry of Byzantine traditions for generations to come. In the grand tapestry of history, the essence of Byzantium resonated within the Russian Tsardom, as Moscow emerged to embrace its destiny as the Third Rome. Thus, the final emperor, Constantine XI, transformed into a legend, a valiant Christian king who met his fate with sword in hand, steadfast in his refusal to yield. On May 29, 1453, the walls of Constantinople crumbled. Yet, the demise of a city cannot extinguish the essence of a civilization. The Byzantine Empire, though fractured, did not disappear. Like a grand river branching into countless streams, its legacy meandered into the world, shaping politics, religion, art, and identity in ways that resonate even now. Byzantium did not meet its end. It evolved into something new. Once upon a time, there existed a grand transformation, a tale of how a fractured empire continued to influence the hearts, minds, and destinies of nations, even after its last emperor laid down his sword for the final time. The eternal flame of orthodoxy endures. Among the many tales woven into the fabric of history, one stands out: the legacy of Eastern Orthodoxy from the grand era of Byzantium. Even as the empire crumbled, the Orthodox Church emerged resilient, embracing the challenges of Ottoman rule while steadfastly preserving the rich spiritual and cultural traditions that had flourished for a millennium. Once, the ecumenical patriarch of Constantinople stood as a figure of great authority, second only to the emperor himself, embodying the spirit of the Eastern Church. While the tides of political power may have shifted, his spiritual presence continued to resonate deeply within the hearts of the faithful. The Orthodox liturgy, adorned with its timeless chants, fragrant incense, and sacred icons, has preserved its essence since the days of the Byzantine era. Across the Balkans, Russia, and the Middle East, the echoes of Byzantine architecture and theology continue to resonate within the walls of churches, telling tales of a rich and enduring legacy. The concept of symphonia, a harmonious relationship between church and state, persisted in shaping Orthodox political thought. In the era of Islamic governance, Orthodox Christians found themselves as dhimmis, safeguarded yet regarded as second-class citizens. Nevertheless, through the resilience of monasteries, the pursuit of education, and the vibrancy of community life, the enduring spirit of Byzantium thrived within the hearts of its people. Russia, the ascendancy of Moscow, the Third Rome. In the north, a remarkable transformation unfolded. With the fall of Constantinople, a wave of Orthodox scholars, nobles, and clerics sought refuge in Russia. A burgeoning force anchored in Moscow. In the year 1472, a momentous union took place as Ivan III, the Grand Prince of Moscow, took Sophia Paleologina, the niece of the last Byzantine emperor, as his bride. This union transcended mere politics, it embodied a deeper significance. Russia started to envision itself as the rightful successor to Byzantium. In a grand tapestry of history, the Russian Tsars embraced the majestic double-headed eagle, a symbol steeped in the legacy of Byzantium. With a flourish, they claimed the illustrious title of Tsar, a name echoing the grandeur of Caesar. Moscow proclaimed itself the Third Rome, the final bastion of authentic Christianity following the demise of Rome and Constantinople. This notion would shape the essence of Russian identity for generations, leaving its mark on everything from grand architectural designs to the nation's imperial aspirations. In a twist of fate, Byzantium found new life not in the heart of Constantinople, but amidst the icy spires of the Kremlin. Books safeguarding wisdom and heritage. Byzantium stood not merely as a religious light. It was a guardian of classical wisdom in the shadowy epochs of Europe. Following the year 1453, that wisdom journeyed westward, igniting new flames of understanding. As scholars journeyed to Italy and beyond, they carried with them, in the hallowed halls of Byzantine monasteries, the wisdom of ancient Greek texts flourished. The profound works of Plato, Aristotle, Galen, and their esteemed contemporaries were meticulously preserved, studied, and copied, ensuring that their timeless insights would echo through the ages. Wisdom in the realms of the stars, the healing arts, and the divine. Expertise in the intricacies of the Greek language and the profound depths of its philosophy. This movement of mind sparked a vibrant renaissance, a flourishing of culture in Western Europe that transformed art, science, and the essence of human thought. In the absence of Byzantium, the world may never have witnessed the brilliance of Michelangelo, the genius of Da Vinci, or the revolutionary ideas of Copernicus. Artist palette, a timeless journey through art. Byzantine art, adorned with shimmering icons, mesmerizing mosaics, and grand domes, continued to resonate even after the fall. In the heart of Eastern Europe, the Orthodox churches wove a tapestry of iconography, each piece a testament to the Byzantine style, steadfast, rich in symbolism, and radiant with light. In the realm of Islamic architecture, the grandeur of Ottoman mosques draws inspiration from the majestic designs of Byzantine structures. The Hagia Sophia stands as a beacon of this influence, serving as a blueprint for numerous Ottoman masterpieces that followed. Even in our time, the enchanting beauty of Byzantine aesthetics continues to captivate and influence the creative minds of artists, architects, and those who design sacred spaces. Byzantine art revealed to humanity the profound ability to uplift the spirit through the visual realm, demonstrating the mastery of space, color, and symbolism to convey the essence of the divine. Shield, a cautionary tale from the West to Western Europe. The fall of Byzantium unfolded as a startling event and a profound teaching moment. It revealed the delicate nature of Christian unity, as the echoes of the Fourth Crusade continued to linger in the interactions between East and West. It foretold the burgeoning might of the Ottoman Empire, poised to cast its shadow upon the very borders of Europe. It revealed the poignant truth that even the mightiest of civilizations can crumble, undone by a blend of internal rot and outside onslaught. In the annals of time, scholars from various fields have gazed upon the tale of Byzantium, reflecting on its rise and fall as both a lesson and a cautionary tale for the ages. Some viewed it as a symbol of sacrifice. Others deemed it a disappointment. Yet, everyone acknowledged its significance. Globe showing Europe-Africa contemporary resonances of Byzantium. Today, The world continues to exhale the essence of Byzantine influence even if we often overlook it. The celebrations of Orthodox Easter unfold with candlelit processions and ancient hymns, resonating with the midnight liturgies of Constantinople. The intricate treaties and protocols of the Byzantine court have significantly shaped the realms of international law and diplomacy. The concept of empire and the notion of divine right, intricately woven into the fabric of Byzantine political theology, cast a long shadow, shaping not only Russia but also the Austro-Hungarian, Ottoman, and even British empires. In a time where the rush of technology often overshadows our recollections, Byzantium stands as a testament that concepts endure long after empires have crumbled. The essence of sacred time, the grace of beauty, and the strength of enduring dignity resonate with a quality that transcends the ages. Glowing star transformation through heartache. In a curious twist of fate, the fall of Byzantium perhaps set its ideas free, allowing them to flourish without the limitations of borders or crowns. Amidst the chaos of a tempest, the essence of Byzantine culture found fertile ground across distant lands. Within the realms of Russian Orthodoxy and the intricate designs of Slavic architecture. Within the realms of Western humanism and the vibrant ideas of the Renaissance. Within the realms of Islamic design and urban planning. Within the souls of the devoted and the thoughts of the learned. What started as a Roman province transformed into a global civilization not due to its victories, but because of its foresight. What allows a civilization to persist through the ages? Is it the lines drawn on maps? The might of its armies? The power of its rulers? Or is it something more profound, a belief? A spirit? A memory that clings to life against all odds? Byzantium, the empire that seemed destined to vanish into the depths of history, has achieved the extraordinary. It has endured beyond its own demise. While its walls have eroded, its palaces turned to mere remnants, and its emperors laid to rest. The essence of Byzantium continues to roam the earth not as a specter, but as a vibrant resonance. This tale transcends the mere account of a fallen empire. It unfolds the journey of immortality woven through the threads of meaning. Classical building beyond the stone. To the casual observer, Byzantium is remembered for its golden domes, grand processions, and centuries of war. Yet, for those who truly pay attention, the empire whispers with a quieter, more profound resonance. In a realm where the concept of eternity reigns supreme, the inhabitants were captivated by the mysteries of the unseen, forever bridging the gap between earth and heaven. In each intricate mosaic, within every sacred liturgy, and through every soft prayer uttered in candlelit churches, Byzantium conveyed a message that transcended mere empire. It beckoned towards something greater, towards profound meaning. Latin crossed the realm of the soul. As the year 1453 marked the fall of Constantinople, a shadow loomed over the east, casting doubt on the future of Christian civilization. Yet, amidst the despair, the spirit of the people remained unbroken. In the serene embrace of the mountains, monks sought refuge, safeguarding their sacred liturgies, cherished icons, and melodious hymns. In hushed corners, the villagers gathered, their voices weaving through the air with the haunting beauty of Byzantine chants, each note a thread of memory binding them together. The Orthodox faith transformed into a shield, a banner, a sanctuary no longer supported by empire, yet fortified through resilience. The Church endured beyond the reach of the state. Belief transformed into a new dominion. Within households, within souls, and across distant lands, the essence of the Byzantine spirit thrived. Even today, Enter an Orthodox church whether in Athens, Moscow, Cairo, or Chicago, and you will be transported into a realm still influenced by the rich tapestry of Byzantine creativity. Shield a beacon of defiance. For Greeks, Serbs, Bulgarians, and other Orthodox peoples, Byzantium transformed into something far beyond mere history. It emerged as a powerful emblem of identity, pride, and unwavering resistance. In the era of Ottoman dominance, Byzantium emerged as the cherished lost homeland, a vision of freedom waiting to be reclaimed. In the midst of the 19th century Greek War of Independence, brave revolutionaries strode forth beneath the proud Byzantine banners, proclaiming their legacy as the rightful heirs of Constantine XI. Even in the present, the whispers of national symbols, church ceremonies, and political ideas resonate with the rich tapestry of the Byzantine past. Byzantium, a realm lost to the maps of time, continues to pulse vibrantly within the hearts and minds of countless generations. Scroll the realm of thought. In the West, scholars began to rediscover the long-lost splendor of Byzantium. For centuries, the people of Western Europe held a skewed view of the Byzantines, labeling them as decadent, overly mystical, or weak. Yet, as scholarly inquiry progressed, a newfound respect began to blossom. In the grand tapestry of history, the significance of Byzantium shines brightly, as it played a pivotal role in safeguarding the treasures of classical antiquity. Theologians welcomed the depth and beauty of Orthodox thought. Scholars of politics delved into the intricate web of its administration and the profound concepts surrounding sovereign divinity. In the tapestry of contemporary culture, Byzantium weaves its influence through the realms of video games, novels, political philosophy, and the vibrant threads of cyberpunk aesthetics. It's a curious tale. The empire that met its end in 1453 continues to transform in the 21st century. Globe showing Europe-Africa, a tale of global Byzantium. In this moment, the essence of Byzantium can be discovered without setting foot in Istanbul. It resides within the melodies of Mount Athos, within the sacred domes of Orthodox churches that grace 5 continents, in the vibrant creations crafted by children in Serbian villages, within the intricate tapestry of legal codes and the profound philosophical texts that grace the halls of universities, within the sacred melodies that resonate through Slavic cathedrals and Greek chapels, in the visions of souls yearning for divine elegance amidst the tumult of existence. Byzantium transcends its geographical boundaries. It has evolved into a realm of the spirit. Crown the eternal emperor. In the rich tapestry of Orthodox Christian lore, a captivating tale unfolds, the story of Constantine XI Palaiologos, the final emperor of Byzantium. According to this legend, he did not meet his end on the battlefield. Instead, an angel transformed him into marble, concealing him beneath the Golden Gate of Constantinople. It is whispered that one day, he shall awaken and breathe life back into the empire. Indeed, it's a tale woven from imagination. Yet, such tales reveal the deepest desires of the human heart. In this narrative, we uncover a timeless truth: that which is too noble to perish shall inevitably rise again. A community cannot erase the roots of its origin. That hope triumphs over the weight of history. Though the political power of Byzantium may never be restored, its spirit remains unbroken, enduring through the ages. Glowing star, a realm of the soul. What was Byzantium? Truly, once upon a time, there existed an empire that stood as a bridge between two worlds for a millennium, kept alive the wisdom of Greece and the principles of Rome, ignited the realm with the flame of divine mystery, fallen to swords, yet ascended through the echoes of memory. It bore imperfections. It radiated splendor. It faced misinterpretation. It stood the test of time. Byzantium reveals that true greatness transcends mere triumph. It lies in resilience, in foresight, and in the ability to ignite inspiration long after the final stone has been laid to rest. If you find yourself awake at this hour, well, hats off to you. You belong to the rare few. As for the remaining 99%, may your dreams be as enchanting as the tales spun in Byzantium. Dear friends. But hey, if you've journeyed this far, why not share a bit of your appreciation by giving this video a like and joining the adventure by subscribing to the channel? Tomorrow night, we can drift off together, enveloped in the soothing cadence of these delightfully mundane tales from the past. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and may your dreams be filled with wonder. Dear dreamers.